Webcast 4, the CRM Pulse of Your Business series, the Opportunity Record. At the center of your CRM system is the Opportunity Record. This is the single most important object in the system regarding revenue generation tracking for the company and its customers. So what is critical about the importance of this particular record at the center of the CRM system is the way the record is constructed, the information that's maintained on the record, and the quality of the information that's on the record. Let's take a look at an example we have here on the screen from a popular CRM system. This particular architecture in this opportunity record is set up so that on the left-hand side you have a series of drawers or expanding column areas which maintain all of the elemental details about the record itself. On the far right-hand side, the architecture is designed so that any related records associated with the opportunity record can be easily accessed. For example, you'll notice the categories for contacts associated with this record, companies, tasks, so forth and so on. And in this particular CRM system, which is a popular style in a lot of CRM systems today, is an activity feed that runs down the center. So it gives the viewer a clear glance at what's actually taking place as far as interactions, communications back and forth between members of the company, your company, and the customer themselves who is representing this opportunity record. Now, what's critically important is whether or not you have the opportunity record tuned to be the center of the activity processes and related people and companies, or whether or not that's scattered about, as it is with most companies, so that information is being kept, for example, in email systems, and it's not connected to the opportunity record. Files associated with the deal and proposals are being kept on hard drives somewhere in marketing or in the quotation department, depending on how your company is structured, and not physically attached to the opportunity record. And so what you end up having is a very incomplete picture of all of the moving parts and the other related items necessary to be able to look at the opportunity record without the presence of the owner, that is the person in your company who's running it, and see who the players are, what the associated files are, what the communication is that's taking place back and forth, and as is associated on the left-hand column here, the actual details associated with the opportunity itself. Now, before we move on, what I want to focus is in on this particular one, the category called Opportunity Flow, where we can see the arrow located. This is critically important in every opportunity record in whatever system you're using to have certain basic fundamentals absolutely bulletproof. That is, no inaccuracies. The first one is we want to know the close date. The closing date has to be maintained on a daily, weekly, regular basis so that that opportunity can be factored in to the forecasting associated with a particular month in a particular quarter in order for the company to understand what its business pipeline looks like. If you do not maintain clear, accurate close dates, which only the individual in charge of the opportunity can do, the company has no way of knowing what its business funnel looks like and what its projections are. The second critical factor is the status of the opportunity. There are many different ways to create status stages or status values on opportunity records. The most important part of it has to do with a status that tells your organization, based on the way that you do business and you look at the world, where that opportunity record is in terms of its placement to generating revenue. It can get very individualistic in terms of the way that a company does that. But what's critical is that the status means something, and it just doesn't, the difference between, well, it's open or it's closed. And this gets into the stage The stage can be the fine-tuning, the sub-level that is dictating where is the process, so to speak, milestone or marker between the time that the client or the prospective client starts looking at your products and services till the time in which the transaction closes and it becomes a revenue generating event. So stages are critical because stages are also going to tell us, along with the accuracy of the close date, whether or not we have the potential of bringing that to revenue generation state within a given specific period of time, or whether or not it will be out a month or two or however long your sales cycle is. So moving forward to the next, we then understand that if an individual record owned by an individual salesperson or sales team, a deal pursuit team, for example, is not maintained according to the standards I've just described, you're now starting having this situation that you see on the screen in front of you. This is a client, and just going in and running a simple filter in the opportunity records database inside their CRM system, I was able to identify they had more than 60 individual opportunity records that were actually open, that were more than about a year old or close to it, and that represented, according to the dollar values that they had assigned to those opportunity records, over $21 million in business. Now, the fact is, none of that is true. A great number of those opportunities are no longer valid and should have been put to sleep. A number of those opportunities should have been moved forward to accurate close dates in the current year or however long out that's going to be. And the related stages and the dollar values of the opportunity based upon what the probability is of the sale should be maintained. So here's a simple way that you can look into your own system, into the collective opportunity records database. This is one simple thing to do. You can ask your CRM technical people to help you do this, who sold you the system, if you don't know how to do it yourself. And you can very quickly see that this misinformation is going to drive when you start looking at your dashboard funnels. You bring this up in front of your senior management team, your leadership team, and or pray it's not the board of directors, but it just may be. And someone is going to look at these gauges on the dashboard of the ship that's being sailed, which is your company, and they're going to start looking to drill into, is this the truth? What is this telling us? Are we in good shape or bad shape? And the simple fact is, for each one of these little applets that you see here on the screen, if you clicked and drilled in, underneath are the collection of records that we just looked at that either are accurate or they're not accurate, and they are bubbling up to create the single graphic that you're seeing up here on the dashboard. So the critical question here is, what version of the truth is this? Can you believe what you're seeing here on the screen? Are you able to actually navigate using this instrumentation panel to make good business decisions? And it's an answer to a very simple question. Do you or don't you have a data quality structured process in the organization that guarantees that data is being reviewed for quality and accuracy, that is being maintained by an owner, and that its accuracy rate is, let's say, 99.9% clear? If you cannot answer, no, we do not have that process, then you cannot believe what you're looking at behind here, because you do not have the ability to back up whether or not you're looking at truth or fiction.